I think it was General McCaffrey did a study out of the University of Southern California that came back and said that this was probably one of the most egregiously offensive things that the U.S. government had ever done by outlawing cannabis. And throughout all of those periods of time when people were saying, no, 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 we need more studies, the U.S., our taxpayer dollars were going to Israel to pay for those studies.
On some level, the real issue here is that this was never a medical or scientific decision on the part of the government. They didn't ask any physicians or scientists at the time that they created the Controlled Substances Act. The reality here is that they wanted to make cannabis and heroin illegal, and they had lost a Supreme Court judgment in 1969 that was based on the prohibition from 37, and they needed another way to do it. So they decided that they were going to take a medical approach, but they weren't basing it on medical facts, and it was a political decision.
And it was a political decision back in 1937. Most people don't even understand that when it was initially outlawed, it was banned and became part of the Marijuana Tax Act. And within 2 years of that, doctors in New York and doctors in across the country signed on to, I think it was the De La Guardia report, that talked about the fact back in 1941 that this was one of the most egregiously offensive things that doctors could have possibly done. And people don't even know that the person who ended up who really was the champion for making it illegal, Anslinger, was the key leader of prohibition for alcohol. But while he was the leader of prohibition against alcohol, he was a supporter of cannabis use. He actually made several speeches talking about the fact that cannabis was a less violent euphoria than those who were using alcohol. And he suggested that people use cannabis over alcohol. But when he lost his job for alcohol, he wanted to find something to do. So he got his two buddies, William Randolph Hearst and DuPont, to fund his initiatives for 30, 40 years in the future.